Right now, though, let's talk about Just Stop Oil, but not with Just Stop Oil, because we don't like to talk to them. Maxwell Marlow, Director of Public Affairs at the Adam Smith Institute, is here with us. Maxwell, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. I wasn't expecting to have to speak to Just Stop Oil, so I just decided to biff them off, because I don't wish to entertain them at all in any way, shape or form. I find them odious creatures, ghastly individuals, you know, completely and utterly, you know, champagne socialist types. And I think that they haven't given up because they've won. I think they've given up because they don't really like actually being put in prison, which is now what's happening to them.
Well, I don't know, Mike. It seems they're making government policy at the moment. They have succeeded in their demand to get, Britain to stop issuing new oil and gas licenses in the North Sea. So, sorry, it's outrageous that, 2 years ago, Keir Starmer was calling them contemptible, pathetic, et cetera, et cetera, and then put an energy secretary in place who then decided to do exactly what they are. So I'm really confused as to, where the Prime Minister and Ed Miliband stand on Just Stop Oil. I think it'd be an interesting question to ask in the House of Commons. Let's not forget, Mike, the damage they have done to the public sphere, right? They have, made sure that the National Gallery and other galleries have to, really intensify the security, putting queues out the door in case people come in with tins of soup or hammers, et cetera, et cetera. It's madness. So I'm glad they're stopping, but they're doing it because they won.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that, but I mean, on the other hand, when they announced it, I was literally filling my car up with petrol. So they haven't really stopped an awful lot of people from using petroleum products, shall we say? And also, they're hypocritical, as you would always expect them to be, because any of the sort of the new formed ways of bringing energy to our homes are coming in all sorts of different ways, including diesel ships bringing wood chips across the Atlantic, which is about as green as driving around in a diesel van.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so that's the case of Drax and biomass and carbon capture and storage, and I mean that really is a contemptible thing.
Right.
The amount of subsidy we've been pouring into that for years and years now, and it's actually been dismissed in the House of Commons. The government are reviewing their relationship with this kind of provider. But I mean, I will admit, this morning, about over half of our energy coming onto the national grid is from solar, because it's a sunny day, fantastic. There's a lot of wind generation, but we still rely quite a lot on our gas. About 13% of the energy today will be from gas. That's all imported. We could make our own in the UK, but we refuse to because of people like Just Stop Oil. So once again, very concerning. Yeah,
but I would say that as well that there is that sort of traffic in the opposite direction. Ed Miliband is now currently the sort of #1 hate figure in the Labour cabinet because people in the Labour cabinet think he's costing too much money, and the net zero inference is costing too much money. The amount of money that we're supposed to be spending is not sustainable, and I think that Ed Miliband will fall by the wayside soon enough, and then that will mean that a lot of these measures will disappear. And I'm honestly, I think Just Stop Oil have been very good at PR, and I think they've spun this one as well to just make out that the skiing season's over. We don't want to spend the summer sitting on the road. We've decided to go back to northern Italy instead. Lake Como's looking very nice at this time of year, and Mummy's taking us there in a nice Volvo. So we'll just give up.
I'd say so. Look, I'm glad they're done. I feel very sorry for everyone who's been affected by it. I mean, I'm sure you remember the stories of people not being able to make it to their dying mother's bedside at hospital.
Totally.
People missing births, missing big events, celebrations, you name it. They have wreaked havoc on Britain, and the government have essentially kowtowed to them. And I think that is just utterly contemptible. To quote the Prime Minister, it's terrible.
Yeah, indeed, but conversely and perversely, you might say, because of the way that the Metropolitan Police are not very good at policing, the wrong kind of demonstration. Actually, they turned up the screw on them, and I think it's no coincidence that because they're now getting arrested and actually punished and sent to prison, that they've sort of lost the will for the fight.
I'd say so. That could be true. What I find interesting is whenever they end up in the courtroom, they're trying to basically create this idea that the jury don't actually want to sentence them to prison for causing corporate destruction, for disrupting people's lives, for breaking the law. They have this idea that actually the law needs to be changed to allow juries to vote with their conscience instead of on the evidence presented. Now, I'm no legal expert. I'm pretty sure juries, can, vote for and against on this sort of stuff. However, what we have seen is very clear and demonstrable evidence of law breaking, violence, destruction of property, and they try and frame it that this is a virtuous, we're on the side of the angels thing to do. No, this is expensive, and they should be in jail, and we haven't sent enough of them to jail. So you're right, Mike. Maybe the crackdowns have started to have an effect, but the damage is now done, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess you have a point. Maxwell Marlow, thank you very much indeed, Director of Public Affairs at the Adam Smith Institute.